Can you take your seats? We're about to get started. On behalf of Keene State College, it is my pleasure to welcome you tonight, our distinguished guests, both in person and at home, and our honorees, to the 2022 President's Outstanding Women of New Hampshire Award Ceremony. Tonight marks our 32nd annual recognition of New Hampshire's outstanding women. This year's theme, Providing Healing, Promoting Hope, is both a tribute to the ceaseless work of caregivers and frontline workers, and I was supposed to take this off, during this ongoing pandemic, and in recognition of the thousands of ways that women all over the world have provided both healing and hope throughout history. My name is Dottie Morris. I was honored in 2008 as one of the outstanding women of New Hampshire at Keene State College. My role at Keene State includes providing support and direction to the college as the institution fulfills its commitment to equity, diversity, inclusion, and social justice. I would like to start by acknowledging the first peoples of New Hampshire and the land this college is built upon. We are located on a mighty place here, and we have to be sure that we remember the first peoples and the everlasting work that they did to steward this land. We just can't say it, but we have to think of ways to honor that every single day in our actions and the way that we move through the world. And it's with great gratitude that I say thank you throughout the generations of people who steward this land, who are part of the first peoples. On behalf of the President's Outstanding Women of New Hampshire Committee, I'd like to acknowledge the wonderful work of the National Women's History Alliance, which recognizes remarkable women at the national level. At Keene State College, students are our main focus, so we incorporate student performances in a very special way. I hope you enjoyed the music by Ms. Becker, the music major, performance major, and I would like to say thank you to you. I would now like to invite Amelia to the stage, and please introduce yourself and what you will be singing. Oh, you're that way.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. My name is Amelia Guarino, and I'm currently a sophomore vocal performance major here at Keene State College. Tonight I'd like to perform for you a piece by Samuel Barber. The piece is called Shore on the Shining Night. And this piece to me is one of healing and one of finding your rightful place in the universe. So I hope that you enjoy.
Beside
Thank you so much for that beautiful song. That was very lovely. I don't know about you, but I felt it. Here at Keene State College, we come together each year to honor the strength and vision, to honor the women among us who are strong and dedicated at the college level, in the region, and from across the state of New Hampshire. These women are working hard right here in our communities and devoting their lives to making our world a better place for all of us. We thank everyone here for joining us in this celebration. Before we honor the wonderful women, I would like for us to slow down for a moment. An important part of healing is being able to slow down in this very busy world that we live in. Melodoma Some reminds us that ritual is a call for us because our souls communicate things to us that the body translates as need or want or absence. So we enter into ritual in order to respond to the call of our souls. And these women that we are honoring tonight called to our souls as well as to our physical well-being. So what I want us to do in the spirit of healing is for us to take take a deep breath or several. And as you're taking in the breath, you want to take in some healing spirit and release it as well. I think so often we're rushing around, we're literally panting. Have you noticed that? Now that we're back together, I see people running in, literally panting. But part of the healing process is taking a moment to refuel. So let's do that together. People here and at home, just take a deep breath and let it out. Allow for your heart to slow down, your mind to stop racing, for you to focus on gratitude, hope, strength, and healing in whatever way that you think is necessary. So let's take a few more breaths in. Let's commit ourselves to engaging in this ritual, to listen to our souls, to help us to heal not only ourselves, but so many things in our environment in the way that these women have dedicated their lives to do that. One more. Thank you. I guess you said you didn't know you were coming to a yoga retreat, but I think it's very important. I say that tongue in cheek. So we just wanted you to pause because if we're going to talk about health and well-being, we wanted to have something in place to be in line with that. So as we continue this evening, let us take a time to reflect on how we can continue to allow ourselves to make space for those moments of reflection on gratitude and healing. Making space for us to tell our stories as one of our recipients has done within New Hampshire. Create places for us to feel like we are really living and we are able to breathe. Because we're streaming this event, we ask you, if you are going to speak, to come up to the mic, and we do have people who will be speaking. So we would ask you to come up to the mic. And now it is my honor, and with great pleasure, I'm pleased to introduce the president. I always say my president, but I don't want to be too possessive here. The president of Keene State College, Dr. Melinda Treadwell.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. Thanks for reminding me to breathe. I think that this evening represents one of my favorite ceremonies that we do at Keene State College each year for the past 32 years, where we pause to reflect and to honor the leaders among us and the leaders around us who make such a difference. And I'm really, in this moment, it's one of our first events that we've been able to do face-to-face in many, many months. And so it's really remarkable to me that so many of our honorees have been committed to healing and to building hope. And I have hope tonight that we will love our way through this. We'll get to the other side of the challenges that we're facing as a people right now. And the people that we are honoring tonight, many of whom I know are remarkable leaders and remarkable human beings, and some who have come to know through your nominations have made such profound difference in the lives that they've touched. So I am honored to honor you tonight. And with all of your family members and your friends, thank you for being here. And for our audience that's with us remotely, thank you for taking time out of your night to join us for what is one of my truly favorite events that I have the privilege to be a part of. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're very pleased this evening to honor this year's Outstanding Women of New Hampshire, who are making difference here, as Dr. Morris said, not only at Keene State College in the work that they've done as students who never sleep, I mentioned to our first award recipient, but also in our region and across our state. But even more significant to that, I think we are leading the country in many ways, and the work of these women helps to make that the reality that it is. We recognize healing as the act of helping our fellows, those around us, to transcend suffering, transformation into health and wholeness. Healing is hope. It spreads light to the lives of others, and it reflects a belief of the unlimited possibilities by each and every one of us each day. It is a belief in life itself, and together healing and hope are essential to fuel our dreams. This year in particular, we want to express our gratitude to all the healers and the caregivers who have extended their service and expertise to all of us through the ongoing pandemic and the public health crisis it's creating across our nation and our globe. We thank them and we celebrate them for all that they have done to continue to do to sustain a healthy community, locally and globally. Tonight, it is my honor to pay tribute to all of these women who we will celebrate this evening, who have dedicated their lives to promoting health and well-being in small and big ways. And so we'll begin this evening with our Outstanding Woman of New Hampshire, Keene State College student awardee, Sarah Getchell. Sarah is an elementary education major and an American Studies major here at Keene State. She will be graduating this May, unless we can find a way to keep her here. I am pleased to introduce Lily Flynn, class of 2022 elementary education and American Studies major, to the podium. Lily will share information about Sarah's work and the words from her nomination. And I just want to thank you, Lily, for the words that you brought to life in support of Sarah's candidacy for this award. So, Lily.
Sarah Getchell is the Vice President of Kappa Delta Pi Educational Honor Society, President of the Community Service Club, and President of the Yoga Club on campus, where she provides physical, mental, and emotional support for students of the Keene State community. Sarah works hard to recruit students, many of whom say they are looking to improve their social and mental health. She also brought the community service back to life and has worked to keep it running. The club has aided and had an impact in the community multiple times over the academic year. For instance, the club supported the Walk to End Alzheimer's and Jesse Lewis's Choose Love event. Sarah was instrumental in organizing the regional Jesse Lewis's Choose Love movement, a community event at Keene State in October. Choose Love strives to create safer schools and a safer world by teaching people how to use nurturing, healing love in any circumstance. It is based on the principle that practicing social and emotional learning skills improves culture and cultivates an environment that is welcoming, supportive, compassionate, and safe. Sarah has also been a leader and a top student in her classes. Whether she is working as a teaching assistant or helping other students, it is clear that helping comes naturally to her. Sarah truly strives to help others succeed. It has been said that potential materializes into achievement with hard work. Sarah is being recognized for her efforts as well as the immense potential that will certainly take her to even more magnificent things. Now I would like to invite Sarah to say a few words.
Got a nice little step stool up here. Thank you so much, Lily, for those words. I really appreciate it. Thank you for nominating me. It means a lot to me. So good evening, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Sarah Getchell. I'm a member of the class of 2022, and I will be graduating this May, as Lily said. So this is the first time that I've ever actually won an award. That also includes participation awards. I have never won one of those either. First off, I would like to thank my family. My family has always been there to push me to do my best and become the best person I can be. I especially would like to thank my mom and dad. I view my parents as my role models, and they have always raised me to treat others with kindness and to lend a helping hand. My mom has always been my biggest supporter of the volunteer work I have done. I remember in high school when I went on a service trip to New Orleans, and she would tell everyone about the hard work I did rebuilding houses that were destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. She helped me find my true passion for helping others and even helped me navigate my path to teaching. I would also like to thank my dad. He has always been by my side to support the volunteer work I do by driving me to events. He continues to express his enthusiasm for the work I do for the school as well as the community. This award means so much to me, not only because it is the first award I have ever won, but because it is rewarding to know that the impact I have made on the Keene community has led to a positive impact in others' lives. The reason why I volunteer is because I want to create better lives for others and have a positive influence on the people I meet. As a future educator, my goal is to create a positive and safe learning environment for my students. By doing service work, it allows me to create a more connected Keene community and build positive relationships with those I aid. These relationships, and the help I give, is a very rewarding and gratifying process. I am tremendously grateful for the opportunity Keene State College has given me to participate in clubs that allow me to involve myself in the community. I appreciate my friends and family who have come here tonight by continuing to support my mission of helping others. Thank you.
This is the first time we've had one of these, so I mask on, mask off, so forgive me if I mask off at the wrong time. The other thing to just let you know, Sarah, while we were up here having photos, let me know she's student teaching right now in a third grade classroom at the Cutler School. My daughter's in second grade, so God bless you and thank you so much for helping motivate all of those young souls. And I'm sorry if, I'm glad my daughter's not in that class because that would be a whole nother story. But thank you. Let's see. Our next awardee, Keene State College faculty. And this award goes to Dr. Janelle Boyer, currently an associate professor of our public health program here at Keene State. Dr. Boyer, I'll just offer a few personal remarks. I've had the privilege not only earlier in my career here to interview and offer a position for Dr. Boyer, but to work with the department and the community to try to support her in her passion and the energy that she brings to our campus and to the students every day. And during the COVID pandemic, Dr. Boyer has been an instrumental thought partner, a colleague, and a touchstone for me. So Dr. Boyer, on behalf of myself, thank you for holding me steady during what has been a very unpredictable and never boring time as a president of a college. But thank you for the grace that you bring to your work and to the love that you bring to all of us, students, faculty, staff, and community members alike. So thank you. I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Boyer's nominator, one of her students, Melissa Ray, also class of 2022. I think I have to find a way with our vice presidents to keep all of these students here. Melissa is a public health and dance major. Melissa, thank you. for the nomination that you created and for being here tonight.
Dr. Janelle Boyer is an associate professor of public health here at Keene State College. Through her work as co-chair of KSC's COVID leadership team, Professor Boyer has had a huge impact on all of us. Her work has directly helped to reduce the risk of spread of the disease in the community and has helped to keep us all safe during these challenging times. As part of her efforts, she used wastewater testing to evaluate the levels of COVID on campus and in the greater Cheshire County. This innovative practice helped assess the risk that COVID had in the community before cases were confirmed on or off campus. A microbiologist by training, Professor Boyer has also conducted research in various areas of inquiry related to health. This includes, among other things, a study of food protein-induced enterocolitis syndrome in infants. FPIES is poorly understood, serious allergic condition that primarily impacts infants and children. At this time, there is no known cause or cure for the allergy, and her research examines the role that the gut microbiome might play in causing FPIES. Her study resulted in Professor Boyer being awarded a grant by the FPIES Foundation, UBiome, and New Hampshire INBRE. As a registered yoga instructor, Professor Boyer includes meditation in all of her college classes and teaches workshops and classes on mindfulness, meditation, and yoga as effective tools for bolstering resiliency during challenging times. Professor Boyer is passionate about the mental health of her students and the greater community. She is committed to investigating strategies to decrease prescription drug misuse and abuse on college campuses, and in the management of mental health issues faced by college students during COVID. Professor Boyer's COVID management efforts, along with her teaching, research, and the yoga classes she offers to faculty, staff, and students, and the larger community, profoundly impact the community. Those of us at KSC owe Professor Boyer a debt of gratitude for all she has contributed to keep us safe in these challenging times, and for her important research. Her contributions on a variety of fronts certainly makes her a truly worthy recipient of this award. Welcome, Professor Boyer.
I didn't know if I should hug them right away or just wait a couple seconds, but thank you both. Thank you, President Treadwell, and thank you, Mel. And I'm so honored and humbled and just grateful for so much. I came here about 9-10 years ago or so, and I have really, truly felt so supported by the KSC community, by my amazing department to really follow all of my passions. And I'm happy that some of these passions have been able to help out, especially in these last couple of years. But there have been so many people who have been just, they've played such a huge role in all of this. Been working around the clock with this COVID leadership team who have all been amazing. I know at least a couple are here tonight as part of that team. I've had the opportunity to engage in so many partnerships throughout the city, some of whom are these amazing women who are also here tonight and will be receiving awards shortly, which I realized that we've never actually seen each other in person. So today, we're like, oh my gosh, you're taller than I thought, or no, so. So it's really amazing to be here with all of this amazing group. And again, we've had this incredible contact tracing team that's done so much work this year. Our wellness ambassadors, and Mel is one of the amazing students who's been helping with peer education, and Tiffany Matthews has been kind of spearheading that team from the Wellness Center. We've had this great collaboration with the city and many other departments on campus to do this wastewater project. And the list could just go on and on and on and on. And of course, I'm so grateful for my family and friends who are also here and who have had to listen to me talk about things like COVID kind of nonstop, and I don't want to say like neurotically, but maybe a little bit. No, so again, the last couple of years have been challenging to say the least, but there have been a lot of silver linings and a lot of beauty and a lot of gifts. So I came across this short poem or quote not too long ago, and it really resonates with me. A quote by Kobayashi Isa, translated by Jane Hirschfield, that says, we walk along the roof of hell, gathering blossoms. And I just love it, as it really kind of captures this idea that both can exist together, and that the blossoms are really absolutely as real as the suffering. And as hard as these last couple of years have been, again, I can't help but feel more connected to so many other people, old connections, new connections, and I really feel it. These blossoms are real. So I don't know if life will get easier. There's, between war and climate change and pandemics, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard. But the blossoms are there too. So I just encourage you as you move forward to hang in there and don't forget to choose the blossoms. So thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much. You guys are all the best.
Sorry, being an MC is also managing multiple scripts and a mask, and so it's just too much for me. I'm not doing this very well. Our next award is for the Regional Outstanding Women of New Hampshire, and it is Women of New Hampshire this evening that we are celebrating. Mary Curtin Pierce and Tricia Zahn. Mary and Tricia were nominated through their work by Cheshire Medical Center's very own Dr. Alok Kolay. Dr. Kolay has a video that he's prepared, but I, as with Dr. Boyer, I just want to thank Tricia and Mary for the work you have done. And as Dr. Boyer said, this is the first time we've seen one another, and yet we've been working together for years, 2 years, and we have worked together daily, weekly, just an inordinate amount of time, energy, and leadership. And I just want to personally thank you both for what you have done to save so much of our community and to hold us together. Thank you for your leadership on behalf of our college. Thank you. I think the first time I met Mary, she was calculating airflow rates and helping us understand our ventilation improvements on campus. Lots of thrilling things that we've done together. So, but thank you, and as I mentioned, Dr. Alok Kolay, who has also been a part of this incredible team for our region and state, has prepared, he is receiving his own award this evening. He's receiving a Trendsetter Award. So we have a rock star team at Cheshire Medical Center, in case you didn't already know that. But Dr. Kolay has prepared a message, so we're going to skip over to that, and I'll step to the side. Thank you.
Good evening. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to present to you my friends and colleagues as this year's Outstanding Women of New Hampshire Monadnock Region awardees. First up, Mary Curtin Pierce. Mary is an infection preventionist at Cheshire Medical Center, a Dartmouth Hitchcock Health affiliate. In this capacity, she works to protect both patients and staff from hospital-acquired infections and serves as a facility resource in antimicrobial stewardship, data analytics, and process improvement. During the past 2 years, she has played a major role in ensuring the hospital's readiness to tackle COVID-19. Ms. Curtin Pierce was relatively new to Cheshire when the first COVID-positive patient in New Hampshire was announced in March of 2020. She played a pivotal role in guiding the organization through unprecedented challenges, using her data and analytical skills to assist her colleagues. Further, her expertise has been sought by Keene State College in formulating its COVID-19 response. Working alongside myself, Pierce used a three-pronged approach to infection prevention during the epidemic. This focused on limiting the entry of COVID within the hospital setting, developing tactics to contain and limit spread if it does enter, and lastly, establishing how best to treat patients with COVID even while keeping employees safe. She studied local data and took guidance from various organizations, including the CDC and New Hampshire's Department of Health and Human Services, to help create guidelines for Cheshire's specific organizational needs. She is a recipient of Cheshire's Rise to the Occasion Award, stands for Resolve, Integrity, Sacrifice, and Exceptional Service. Her service and proactive approaches amid the turbulence protected Cheshire's staff, patients, and the greater community. She is compassionate and courageous and has led with wisdom, expertise, persistence, and insistence on adhering to science as well as the hospital's core values of service and the greater public good. Next up, Trisha Zahn. A public health professional by training, Trisha has worked in several parts of the country. She is now the Director of Community Strategic Partnerships at Center for Population Health at Cheshire Medical Center, a Dartmouth-Hitchcock Health affiliate. She has also served as the lead for vaccination efforts in the region. This massive undertaking was organized by Ms. Zahn in collaboration with the Greater Monadnock Public Health Network. She believes strongly in tapping into the relationships and trust built among partners, in bringing together persons, organizations, and groups in viable and fruitful ways, and most importantly, in leaning on their strengths during times when the larger community needs such combined energy and effort. For Zahn, the COVID-19 vaccine distribution efforts in the region were a culmination of a series of prior preparedness efforts. It is to an end like this that she has worked over the years, building relationships and recruiting, vetting, and training volunteers. Trisha recently received the Rise to the Occasion Award, which stands for Resolve, Integrity, Sacrifice, and Exceptional Service from Cheshire Medical Center. This award recognizes an individual who has stepped up in an extraordinary way during a crisis or a challenging period, making it possible for Cheshire to achieve its mission despite adversity. She has also been celebrated by the Union Leader, a statewide daily newspaper, in its 40 under 40 recognition of young professionals aged 40 and under, making a difference, working where they live. Martin Luther King stated that life's most persistent and urgent question is this: what are you doing for others? Pierce and Zahn's contributions to the well-being of the local community are to be commended. This Outstanding Women of New Hampshire Award is just one way of celebrating them. Please join me in congratulating both these outstanding women. Thank you.
I would just like to say, after these last 2 years of working with Dr. Treadwell and her team, nothing surprised me more than to take a phone call in my office from Dr. Melinda Treadwell, and I think I stopped breathing. I thought, oh no, what's wrong? And she said, just breathe, it's okay. So When I first started here in this community at Cheshire Medical Center, like Dr. Collet said, it wasn't very long that I had been there before we heard of this pandemic, 28 days to be exact. And I remember sitting across the table from Dr. Collet and thinking to myself, how are we going to get these people through this? I didn't know anybody. They didn't know, even Dr. Collet was new. There wasn't, they didn't trust me yet, right? So, we had a big task before us. And I was reminded of a quote that JFK said, "As they say on my own Cape Cod, a rising tide lifts all the boats, and a partnership, by definition, serves both partners without domination or unfair advantage. Together, we have been partners in adversity. Let us also be partners in prosperity." When I think about my own rising tide personally that has gotten me through this year, it's really the team with whom I work that makes things really come to life. During these challenging times, I couldn't have done any one of these things alone or without any of my partners, Aaron Patnode, who's in the audience, and Dr. Alok Collet, but also without our leadership under which we serve. More than that, it's that they're part of my close network that holds me up when I'm tired and weary, so that I might make it another day, to keep moving forward. For me, my family is another part of that rising tide. At the core of my foundation, of my strength, my best friend, my husband, and my children, who take me tired and cranky and stressed, and what's been left of me for the last 2 years. And you love me anyway. Thank you. It's trying times like these that we must stick together as a community, and we must hold one another up and work together as a rising tide. We will all prosper that way. The partnerships and friendships that we've built over these last 2 years will be the very thing that keeps us afloat. I want to end by saying I am truly humbled and thankful to be recognized amongst all of these other awardees. And I am grateful to have been able to serve this community as I have, and to help guide us through some very uncharted waters. I'm thankful to have had the opportunity to build so many wonderful relationships, and I hope that we can continue to build everlasting community ties and keep our community afloat. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Treadwell and Keene State College for this award and recognition. Thank you also to Dr. Collet, who is across town receiving his own much-deserved award. I'm deeply grateful for all the partnerships that have led me here tonight. We know plans on shelves are only as valuable as the people and partnerships that created them, and this ongoing pandemic has made that abundantly clear. From Dr. Treadwell agreeing for us to take over Criff Road for months on end, to both Cheshire Medical Center and Monadnock Community Hospital, supporting all our ideas and all our asks, from large to small. I'm thankful for all the businesses, schools, communities, civic groups, faith-based groups who open their doors to host conversations and hold vaccine clinics. I would like to share this award with my team, who stepped up. Mary and I worked on this. We got it. Who stepped up and rolled with the punches from day one. Jane, I honestly don't know what I've done without you. Carrie, I'm so grateful that you showed up to volunteer and stuck around to enter the world of public health. And Kelsey, your expertise and patience was a critical piece of our success. I would like to thank all the community volunteers who provided selfless hours, making seemingly endless phone calls, and working outside from negative-degree weather all the way through mask-shaped sunburns and suntans. I'd like to thank my parents and my husband, who I'm lucky to have here with me tonight. They have supported this public health journey of mine for 16 years. Mary, you did so much better than me. These last few years have been the most demanding, without a doubt, and I'm grateful for their ongoing support. Last couple sentences. People rarely leave your presence neutral. They either leave it engaged or depleted. My team and I work hard to make sure that all our partners feel heard and engaged. I'm so grateful for the people I'm able to surround myself with, both in good times and bad. Partnerships make nights like this possible. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mary, Tricia. Thank you for everything you've done. And thank you for bringing your true, authentic selves to everything you did. So, more fun ahead, I'm sure. And thank you. I do know now I should never admit my age to Dr. Collet. Our next award is the State of New Hampshire Award. Our honoree this evening is Kirsten Dursey, New Hampshire COVID Equity and Public Health Expert, Health Equity Program Director. Kirsten, thank you for the work that you have done statewide to make sure that we have equity in our healthcare, equity in our supports, and to fight for those who have no voice sometimes in our public health structures. I am honored to welcome to the podium Dr. Trinidad Tellez, who has been a former Outstanding Woman of New Hampshire Award recipient here at Keene State. Dr. Tellez is a family physician, a public health administrator, but she's also a fierce advocate for the very award that we're giving tonight to you, Kirsten. So thank you for your work. Congratulations, Dr. Tellez.
Kirsten Dursey's skill and talent, informed by her lived experience, have been most evident since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. As the equity subject matter expert for the New Hampshire COVID-19 response, she has tirelessly championed the needs of everyone, but especially disproportionately affected and historically marginalized groups. As director for the Vaccine Equity Branch, Ms. Dursey worked hard to provide our state's most at-risk residents with equal opportunity to receive the COVID vaccine. She ensured that vulnerable populations were remembered at every step of the vaccine rollout and that their needs were not neglected in decision-making. Ms. Dursey's steadfast visionary leadership has also, for over a year, brought to life the mental, emotional, and social health and healing in the community through an ethical storytelling project, which she leads as a passion project on her own time. The New Hampshire Charitable Foundation recognized the healing power of this storytelling initiative and funded her and a small group, which both Dr. Dottie and I are privileged to be as part of, to create the Our Story NH Ethical Storytelling Project to capture stories from the pandemic and beyond. And I do urge you to look up www.ourstoryn.com and join in. Kirsten has worked in community health and in education settings in multiple states, within higher education, tribal communities, nonprofits, and the public sector. She has provided expertise in strategy, governance, community engagement, and facilitation in various public-private collaborations and coalitions across New Hampshire, most specifically in the areas of evaluation, HIV, and building equitable and just organizations. Ms. Dursey is passionate about health equity, equitable evaluation, and research methods. She is a sought-after regional and national presenter on public health topics. I am so privileged to call Kirsten a long-standing colleague, a tireless partner in equity and justice work here in New Hampshire, and a wonderful friend. Thank you for joining me in celebrating her here tonight for this incredibly well-deserved recognition.
Oh my goodness. I feel really humbled following all of these nominees because I know how hard they've worked and the amazing work that they've done, and I'm just so privileged. I would like to thank President Treadwell, the Keene State College community, my family, including my parents who are here tonight, my son who is at college watching from afar, I think, maybe, dear friends that made the trip here, and dear friends who are watching from afar as well. And also, and maybe most especially, my amazing public health colleagues, without whom I know I would not be standing here tonight. A special thank you to my friend, my colleague, and my partner in resistance, Trini Tejas. Thank you. That was a beautiful tribute, and I thank you. I am so deeply honored by this award and so proud to stand amongst these other honorees tonight. And I'm thinking today of my grandmothers, two very different women from very different worlds. One that pulled her family from a war zone and brought them to a new land, and one that lived the most hardscrabble of hardscrabble lives, the kind of life that pulls at you and can force you to your knees. Two very different women with one very important thing in common. They believed in hope. They always had hope. Barbara Kingsolver, one of my favorite authors, said that the very least you can do in your life is figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is live inside that hope. Not admire it from a distance, but live right in it, under its roof. These past years have been full of collective angst, darkness, and way, way too much grief. But the sun has risen every morning. And today I find myself living inside the hope that comes from good friends, loving family, colleagues that continue to fight the good fight, and knowing that every day we have the chance to get up and relight the spark that ignites the revolution that moves us towards a better and more just world. I thank you deeply for this honor. Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you. I'm so impressed you can read on your phone. This year I've asked for an additional award to be added to our event tonight. The President's Award for Distinguished Service. We typically bestow this award as part of an annual staff recognition ceremony here at Keene State College. We were not able to host that event this year because of our limitations on gathering for groups to honor in person. The Distinguished Service Award is presented to an individual or a department who has truly exemplified service in all of its forms to the Keene State College community and our students. It recognizes the hard work of an individual or a team that have truly left their mark on the college. This is, in fact, the highest honor that we bestow for a staff member for distinguished service, consistent with our mission, our values, and our vision as an institution. In the spirit of tonight's award, the awardee for our President's Distinguished Service Award is an individual who did so much to help prepare the future for those who will care for us when we need them most, our nurses. We are honoring Donna Cody, who sadly passed away in September of this past year, quite unexpectedly. And her colleagues, Dr. Mel Adams and Dr. Kirk Sanger, and so many others are here today. But Dr. Adams and Dr. Sanger developed a beautiful nomination for Donna to honor and recognize her exceptional service and contributions to our community that we would wish to bestow this evening to her family. Kirk.
President Treadwell, Dr. Morris, thank you for this opportunity. Wow, I'm not sure I can read this. Yeah, I'm just having trouble.
Okay, we're going to get through this, okay? I'm going to try. Sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry, everyone, to bring the evening to an end in this way, but this is really important for our community and for all of you to know this woman. Could I have a tissue, please? If someone could scrounge a tissue for Kirk and me, that would be great. Mrs. Donna Cody devoted her professional life. Oh my God, you all didn't need to run. It feels a little much. Thank you. Okay, we're going to be okay. All right, Knuckles, we're good. All right, let me go. All right. She came to Keene State College after a distinguished career in home care nursing. In this role, she combined her immense talents, the technical skill to administer IV medication, and compassion for others. Donna brought those talents and so much more to Keene State as our nursing lab coordinator. Donnie, can you open that? Kurt can't open the tissues.
He was an ICU nurse.
That's okay, he was an ICU nurse, so let's not be alarmed or worried. She was so much more than this title. I was remarking to her husband before this evening that we do a nursing pinning ceremony to honor our graduates each year, and every year I would sit, thank you, Dottie, thank you, Kirk. I would sit on the stage and I would look out and watch for Donna because she would be smiling and beaming at the students that were graduating, at all of us who were there to honor this award. She was and always will be an incredible light to this community. Her kind, gentle, and confident presence is missed by all who knew her. In the same way she practiced nursing, everyone got her undivided attention. She was a tremendous role model of professionalism, positivity, and compassion for our future nurses. Donna consistently delivered outstanding support and direction to our students, and this was evident in how she provided stimulating educational experiences and a safe environment for our students to acquire the skills and critical thinking required of registered nurses. Donna focused students on the needs to be skillful and compassionate. She routinely provided not only the typical day-to-day experiences for our students, but sought to challenge them beyond what they would normally face, what they may normally face. For instance, one semester, students were unable to do the disaster simulation that prior seniors had engaged with. She took the initiative and designed a new simulation scenario. She transformed the lab into a mock nursing home after a damaging hurricane. The scenario was completed with actors dressed for the part, each with wounds and emotions to play out. The lab itself literally looked as though it had hit by a hurricane, with lights flashing, dirt flying through the windows, beds thrown about, curtains ripped from the ceiling, and students were amazed by the realism and remarked at how thoroughly Donna had immersed them in the environment. Donna took on additional duties to improve the college's response to COVID by working with our rapid response team that Dr. Boyer mentioned. Conducting outreach and contact tracing, she put her nursing and counseling skills to use by delivering tough news to students during this time and working with them to make sure they felt safe and supported while in isolation and quarantine. Most cherished are the imprints she left on our students. They knew Donna as someone who put the books aside, learned about her students and what they needed to be successful. She was always willing to meet with them where they were and to help them. It is not hard to think about what could have been if she were still here with us. All the students she would have mentored,
You can do it.
Yeah, the colleagues and the projects she would have supported for this institution. Posthumously awarding the President's Award for Distinguished Service to Mrs. Donna L. Cody. It celebrates a lifetime of contribution to others and the social good that she helped to foster for those we all loved. I would like to welcome Donna's husband and anyone from her family who would wish to be here to accept this award on our behalf. Sorry.
Hello. Can we take a deep breath? That helps. Thank you, President Treadwell. Kirk. Everything they said is completely true. She lived Keene State to the fullest. She loved it here, no doubt. It's tough to explain. But first, on behalf of my daughter Jocelyn and my son Jameson, it's a great honor to accept this award. And also, we're so proud of Donna because of the mark she left at Keene State College in such a short time. Is pretty incredible. A couple words that were discussed, that she was passionate, dedicated, feisty, and funny. She brought everything to the table here. I got a funny story. It was a sim lab she ran. They have the mannequins in there. One of them's name is Lucy, I believe, and Lucy gave birth. So it was a little baby. Well, Donna called me in one night and said, Lucy gave birth, but everything else came out too. So I came in with double-sided Velcro and Gorilla Glue and put Lucy back together. But I had to liven it up a little bit. Yeah, they talked about the disasters. She used to love planning for that. The cadaver lab, the Dartmouth-Hitchcock, once a year. But her true passion was her students, no doubt. She loved her students. Each one, she treated them what they needed. If one was exceptional, she let them go, but if there was one that needed attention, she would give them extra time. She'd come home, tell me about all her students. She just loved them, made sure they were eating right, and then wanted to see them graduate, and of course, the pinning ceremony was the highlight. I guess I'm going to end it here. I'm going to just say to all of the students that went through Donna that are out there, like if you're listening or if you get it somehow, but if wherever you are, if you're in a intensive care unit, if you're working in a nursing home, but you're doing the simplest task like changing a dressing and you get it done and you say, boy, that's how Donna would have done it. Just think back that she's smiling on you, all you students, that she's looking on you, that big, radiant smile. Thank you.
Thank you all. To our award recipients this evening, congratulations. We love you and are so grateful for you and the work that you do for our community and our state. Thank you for what you do for others and will always do for our children and for those in your care. And so, on behalf of the college, I wish to thank you all for being here. I'm going to turn it over to my dear friend and colleague, Dottie Morris, to bring us to closure. And then I invite you all to stay in community as long as you wish this evening. And again, thank you for the joy of being here with you.
This has been, an amazing evening. We've laughed, we've cried, we've healed. We will commit ourselves to do what is necessary to do what these amazing women have been able to do. And it has to start with taking a deep breath with intention and releasing it with joy. Thank you to our students who performed this evening, to President Treadwell for honoring the outstanding women, and to the nominators for taking the time to nominate. I will go off script now. I'd also like to thank Misty Kennedy. I'm sure sometimes she felt like she was herding cats. Some of us are not as compliant as needed. To the last minute, she sent in a text saying, "Are you coming?" And I really appreciate that. I'm not offended at all because of the pride that she takes in her work. And because she wants everything to be perfect, and you have to have someone running something like that with that type of tenacity. So thank you very much, Misty. Thank you. Is Mark Gimpler in the room? Mark Gimpler is in the room? No? Well, he was amazing with helping us with kind of looking at the nominees, coming up with the rubric. Again, always willing to offer a sense of humor in the process. So we were not laughing at the nominees, we were laughing with them. No, just joking. We had such a wonderful time doing that. So thank you to Mark. Thank you to Dr. Brenda Chari, who is always a wonderful person. I wish I could be on more committees with her because she's just a lovely person to have. And especially for something like talking about healing. Just being able to laugh with her, because we did do a lot of laughing, to be honest with you. As opposed to being dishonest with people, but we did a lot of laughing, so thank you very much to you as well. And Kaya Rumbelor, who left the college at the end of December, but she was a major part of this as well, so I wanted to thank all of those people. I'd also like to acknowledge, are there any other outstanding Women of New Hampshire Award winners in the room tonight? If you mind, can you please stand, Dr. Yvonne Goldsberry? Oh, I didn't call your name. Trini. Who else? Thank you. Thank you all for coming this evening. We would like to specifically, again, thank everyone for the hard work with the live stream and all of the other things that were done. The supporting departments and teams of people. Something like this is a heavy lift. Specifically, the students in the production of our event, illustrating that Keene State College commitment to providing experiences, our learning experiences and opportunities for students. And we are very student-centered, and this ceremony or this event is definitely that. So have a wonderful evening, and remember to breathe. Thank you.
Thank you for the tissue.
I had this paper, like, what did I do?
If you look at it, it worked. Thank you.